Good morning, everyone. I am Rajinder Singh, Civil Engineering Department, Punjabi University, Patiala, working as an assistant professor. So today I am the chairperson of the first session, and let's first start with our morning prayer as usual. I request Cultural Committee to please start morning prayer.
Good morning to all. आज हम गाएंगे शब्द देश सेवा पर मोही है। प्लीज सभी अपना सर ढकें। देह सेवा पर मोही रे शुभ कर मन पे कब न करो। देह सेवा पर मोही रे शुभ कर मन पे कब न करो। न डरो और तो जब जाए लड़ो निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो। देह सेवा पर मोहे है शुभ कर मन से कब न करो। अर्पित हो अपने ही मन को एह लालच हो गुण तो उचरो एह लालच हो गुण तो उचरो। देह सेवा पर मोहे है शुभ कर मन से कब न डरो। जब आव की ओर निदान बने अतहीरन में तब जूझ मरो अतहीरन में तब जूझ मरो। देह सेवा पर मोहे है शुभ कर मन से कब न डरो। देह सेवा पर मोहे है शुभ कर मन से कब न डरो। Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So now I will request yesterday's reviewers to please present their reviews. Firstly, I will request Dr. Parisha, please present your review.
Very good morning to all. I, Parisha, Assistant Professor, MNS Government College, Bhiwani, the reviewer of first session of yesterday, 19th August 20. Is it audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, continue. Yes, ma'am, continue, please.
Okay. Session was started by Dr. Vishal.
Come closer to the mic. Please come closer to the mic.
Okay, sir. Okay. Session was started by Dr. Vishal, course coordinator. It was chaired by Ma'am Meena Thakur. Session started with beautiful prayer by Gauri ma'am. Then beautiful Shairi session was presented by Meena Thakur ma'am, Murthy sir, Rajvinder sir. They all made the session remarkable. Then reviews of 3 sessions were presented by different reviewers regarding presentation of the participants. Afterwards, Chairperson Meena ma'am introduced the speaker of the session, Dr. Vishal Bhatnagar sir. He is professor at Department of Computer Science and Engineering, AIACT and R, Delhi. The speaker presented on the title Reshaping Education System by Unleashing the Power of ICT Technology. Now the contents of the lectures were, he explained information communication technology and he appreciated the work done by Dr. Vishal at Punjab University Patiala for conducting the refresher course online. He defined ICT and its components, its characteristics like efficiency, innovations, etc. Then he discussed about the influence of educational tools on learners. He explained ICT in learning by developing thinking skills and problem-solving strategies by gaining knowledge, understanding and skills. ICT in education have led to learning paradigm shift from teacher-centered to learner-centered. Students are becoming more active in learning. He taught the shift from industrial age learning model to digital age learning model. Then he also told about why we should integrate ICT in education for effectiveness, accessibility to resources for effective networking. He presented UTAMU hybrid model. Then he told about advantages of ICT, global trends in ICT and education were well explained by him. Afterwards, he defined steps taken by Indian government for ICT-based education during COVID-19 corona pandemic. Lastly, he discussed augmented reality, virtual reality in education, and then impact of ICT on societies, and concluded that ICT is education more effective and responsive. He gave the lecture in simple way. PowerPoint presentation was mode of teaching. Interactive session for all. Session was relevant to the needs of the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you,
Now I will request Dr. Brahmlin, ma'am. Please present your review.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So yesterday in the second session, Dr. Sonal Chawla, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Applications, Punjab University, interacted with the participants on the topic ICT and education. Dr. Chawla started the lecture by explaining the meaning of ICT. She explained that ICT simply implies the technology which consists of electronic devices and associated human interactive materials that enable the user to employ them for a wide range of teaching learning processes. Dr. Chawla cited the main reasons to use ICT in education. The meaning and relevance of online teaching was also discussed. Citing the example of MOOC, she suggested that online courses can be designed for a handful of enrolled students or can be made open and accessible to a wide variety of participants. It was stressed that online teaching content needs to be attractive. So animations, graphics, audio, video, and textual presentations were suggested as some means to keep the students engaged in online classes. The pedagogical techniques for smart online teaching learning process, such as classroom clipping, mind mapping, etc., were discussed in detail. In the rest of the lecture, various useful tools in the four components of online learning, that is learning management system, video recording, live classes, interaction, and engagement, were listed and demonstrated. Particularly, step-by-step setup and usage of Google Classroom, Zoom, Edpuzzle, and Insert Learning were given. The demonstration of all these tools was aided by snapshots of their interfaces. At the end, Dr. Chawla informed the participants about various initiatives of MHRD in the field of ICT. Specifically, she mentioned MOOCs, e.g. EPG Pathshala, Swayam Prabha, the NDL, Shodh Ganga, Shodh Sindhu, Vidwan, etc. The speaker concluded the session by pointing out that ICT is only a tool for better student-centric engagement and is not a replacement for the real interaction with the faculties. The talk delivered during the technical session of the course was very well planned and highly interactive. Dr. Chawla rendered a vivid picture of applications of ICT tools in online education. At the end of the session, the house was opened for queries and discussion. The members of the session found the information imparted very, very useful and hoped to take full advantage of ICT tools to enhance the learning environment in their future online classes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you. Is this Meena Thakur, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Please present your review. Please, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. The last session of the 8th day of 84th refresher course was chaired by Mr. Sukhinder Singh. The speaker of the session was Professor Rajiv R. and the topic of the presentation was the state of art of FOSS, FOSS. This session was very interactive as he allowed everyone to participate in the session. He used PowerPoint presentation for the explanation of topics with some video slides also. He defined the concept of free software and he also differentiated between free software and open source software. He told that free software licensing fall under two categories, copylefted and non-copylefted. In copylefted category, anyone who redistributes the software with or without changes must pass along the freedom to further copy and change it, while in non-copylefted, it is possible for someone to take such software and make it proprietary with or without modification. We then discussed about why we should choose open source alternatives. We enlisted some false alternatives also, like Adobe Photoshop, FreeCAD, MS Office, AutoCAD, etc. He explained in detail about the use of learning management system application and its application also. He told about the consequences of not having an LMS platform also. The open source LMS tools were also discussed. At the end, he showed a video on FOSS initiative of Government of Kerala. And at last, he concluded the session with some questions and queries of the participants. The last session of the day was ended by national anthem. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now let's move towards little entertainment part. I'll request Ma'am Gauri to please have a song, share a song with us.
Dr.
Hello.
Rajinder, Meena ma'am and Manju Sood ma'am has to present some story in collection yesterday.
Sure,
So I think that is pending. So I think they can continue with that.
Okay, sir. I wasn't aware about that. So it's okay. You can. Yes, ma'am. Please present.
इस स्टोरी का नाम है साथ. ये स्टोरी मुझे सोशल मीडिया से शेयर हुई थी, तो मैं वो शेयर करना चाहूंगी. इस स्टोरी में इस बार होता है कि एक राजा के राज्य में एक व्यापारी आता है और राजा को बहुत अच्छा एक बाज मिल जाता है. राजा बहुत खुश होता है कि उसे एक बाज मिला है जो कि बहुत ऊंची उड़ान के लिए फेमस होते हैं बाज. राजा कुछ समय के बाद ये देखता है कि वो बाज उड़ नहीं रहा है, तो वो बहुत परेशान होता है. वो अपने पूरे राज्य में अनाउंसमेंट कराता है कि जो भी इस बाज को उड़ना सिखाएगा मैं उसको इनाम दूंगा. बहुत सारे जो ट्रेन करते हैं पक्षियों को, पशुओं को, वो आते हैं. जो जैसे शेर को ट्रेन करता है, कोयल को ट्रेन करते हैं, वो सारे आते हैं लेकिन वो फेल हो जाते हैं. कोई उनको उस बाज को उड़ना नहीं सिखा पाया. राजा बहुत परेशान होता है कि मैंने इतना पैसा देकर ये बाज भी खरीदा और ये उड़ भी नहीं रहा है. तो फिर वो राजा फिर से अनाउंसमेंट करता है और अपनी जो इनाम की रकम है वो डबल कर देता है. अब एक लकड़हारा आता है, वो कहता है कि मैं सिखाऊंगा इसको उड़ना, मुझे 15 दिन का समय चाहिए, लेकिन ये 15 दिन में आपके राजमहल में रहते यहीं पे इसको ट्रेन करूंगा और उसके बाद मेरा इनाम मुझे मिल जाए. वो कहते ठीक है. 15 दिन तक वो कुछ नहीं करते.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, I had planned for a poem. I was to recite that poem. Yesterday, there were some technical issues and I couldn't. Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay. So I'm going to share a poem that was written by my son, and this poem is about the field emotions of a woman. So I'm going to start here. Those eyes tell a story, not the perfect. Put an hourglass and listen. Just fighting inside to aside the fear. Emotions wants to hates the broken bond. She fears emotions wants to.
Manju ma'am, Meena ma'am, we can reserve your poem and your story for tomorrow's session. Now I will request Ma'am Gauri to please present one song from your side.
ਚੱਠਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਲਓ।
मैं गौरी मैम ने सर आज गाना सी एक्चुअली मेरी कल हुई
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है राइट राइट।
हाँ हाँ
हाँ हरजिंदर सर।
हाँ जी सर गौरी मैम
सर को बुला लो।
एक शेयर
नहीं,
एक कल दे माहौल के मुताबिक मैंने एक शेयर याद आया।
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी
कहते हाँ ये फेसबुक है कुछ मैं एडिशन की है इस चीज दे विच।
हाँ जी सर।
कहते भूला नहीं दोस्त कुछ गिला मत करना मुझसे। कहना तुझे भूला नहीं है दोस्त गिला मत करना मुझसे, बस जिंदगी उलझ गई है दो वक्त की रोटी कमाने में। बस
क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है,
बहुत वधिया
बहुत।
एक
कोई चक्कर नहीं है ਤੁਹਾਡਾ सर, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੱਲ ਕਾਲ ਆਇਆ, ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਚੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਇਆ, ਮੈਂ ਕਾਲ ਬੈਕ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹੀ ਸੀ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਚ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾबिक ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਚ ਵਾਪਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ इंसान ही इंसान का रास्ता काटता है, इंसान ही इंसान का रास्ता काटता है, दिल्ली तो बेचारी वैसे ही बदनाम है।
क्या बात है,
बस थैंक यू जी, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ।
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਸਰ, ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ 8 ਮਿੰਟ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਹੈ ਤੇ 2-3 ਮਿੰਟ ਦਾ ਗੌਰੀ ਮੈਮ ਗਾਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ 2-3 ਮਿੰਟ ਦਾ ਚੱਟਾ ਸਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ। ਸੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਈ ਵਿਲ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਗੌਰੀ ਮੈਮ ਟੂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਯੂਰ Song।
सर हिंदी सॉन्ग ही सुनाना मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ।
हाँ जी सर श्योर।
आई एम ऑडिबल ना प्रॉपर्ली?
हाँ जी प्रॉपर।
ओ मेरे दिल के चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए। ओ मेरे दिल के चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए। ओ मेरे अपना ही साया देख के तुम जाने जहां शर्मा गए। अभी तो ये पहली मंजिल है, तुम तो अभी से शर्मा गए। अपना ही साया देख के तुम जाने जहां घबरा गए। अभी तो ये पहली मंजिल है, तुम तो अभी से शर्मा गए। मेरा क्या होगा सोचो तो जरा, हाय खुद ही सनम फैसला कीजिए। हो मेरे दिल के चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए। यूं तो अकेला भी अक्सर दुनिया बदल सकता हूँ मैं, तुम जो पकड़ लो हाथ मेरा दुनिया बदल सकता हूँ मैं। यूं तो अकेला भी अक्सर गिर के संभल सकता हूँ मैं, तुम जो पकड़ लो हाथ मेरा दुनिया बदल सकता हूँ मैं। मांगा है तुझे दुनिया के लिए, अब खुद ही सनम फैसला कीजिए। ओ मेरे दिल के चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए। ओ मेरे थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत बढ़िया सर, बहुत बढ़िया।
चट्टा सर एक पंजाबी सॉन्ग
सर
हेलो सर कौन बोल रहा है प्लीज, कौन बोल रहा है?
डॉक्टर कृष्णा।
Dr. Krishna, if you want to listen more Chatta sir, then you can subscribe this channel also on YouTube.
ओके
एडवर्टाइजमेंट हो गई, एडवर्टाइजमेंट।
सर एक पंजाबी कारी दो प्रेजेंट, कारी दो प्लीज।
ओके ओके ओके
पंजाबी सॉन्ग।
हाँ जी सर, ओके।
हेलो चट्टा जी, प्लीज ऑन योर वीडियो प्लीज।
सर मैं ना एक्चुअली हजे रेडी नहीं होया था करके वीडियो ऑन कर रहा हूँ। सजना वे सजना तेरे शहर वाली सानू किन्नी सोहनी लगदी दोपहर, ओ किन्नी चंगी लगदी दोपहर, फिर भी पता नहीं कातों मौज हाई जांदा, भावें साडे सड़ गए ने पैर, ओ भावें साडे भुज गए ने पैर। हो सजना वे सजना वे सजना वे सजना वे सजना, तेरे शहर का दी आई मित्रा वे मेरिया, भुले सब शिकवे ते वैर, भुले सब शिकवे ते वैर, जित करे कक्के कक्के रेतियां नू चुम लवां, लब कितों सजना दी पैड़, ओ लब कितों मित्रां दी पैड़। हो सजना वे सजना वे सजना, हाय पहला तेरा मेरा प्यार, हाय पहला तेरा मेरा प्यार। थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत बढ़िया सर, बहुत बढ़िया।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी अपॉर्चुनिटी।
विशाल सर अपने स्पीकर ज्वाइन कर गए। हेलो विशाल सर।
आई थिंक डॉक्टर हरजिंद ने हाले ज्वाइन नहीं किया उन्होंने, यू कैन कंटिन्यू।
ठीक है ठीक ठीक है, फिर शायद गौरी मैम का रह गया सीगा सॉन्ग। गौरी मैम, आई एम ऑडिबल? गौरी मैम पता नहीं होता, शायद कुछ प्रॉब्लम है माइक पे।
हेलो।
हाँ जी मैम प्लीज।
बहुत अच्छा गाया चट्टा सर ने। मैं जगदीश सिंह जी का एक छोटा सा गीत है, मैं वो गाना चाहूंगी। ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी, मगर मुझको लौटा दो बचपन का सावन, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। कभी रेत के ऊंचे टीलों पे जाना, घर रौंदे बनाना, बना के मिटाना, वो मासूम चाहत की तस्वीर अपनी, वो ख्वाबों खिलौनों की जागीर अपनी, ना दुनिया का गम था बड़ी खूबसूरत थी वो जिंदगानी। थैंक यू सो मच
मैम, बहुत बढ़िया, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल। हेलो, well, is there anyone from south who can present anything from in front of us, as all are presenting from Punjabi University only? So is there anyone from the south or from non-Punjab participant who want to present anything?
Harjinder sir, any south song, south side?
Yes, वही इससे करके सर मैं कह रहा था कि non Punjab. तो हाँ जी. So is there any friend from south one who want to present some story or some song or from the original?
हरियाणवी भी चलेगा, हरियाणवी भी चलेगा।
हाँ जी सर। Anyone from हरियाणा? है नहीं शायद। विशाल से भाई तुसी कुछ प्रेजेंट कर दो।
कि प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं?
नहीं वो तो सर एकेडमिकली चीज होगी ना, मतलब कोई शेरो शायरी या कोई सॉन्ग, कोई या कुछ अपनी स्टोरी, कुछ मोटिवेशनल स्पीच या कुछ।
दो चार लाइना मतलब मैनू कभी मैं गाना गाया था नहीं, बट ये है कि एक गाना मेरा फेवरेट है, दैट इज बड़ा मतलब सैड सॉन्ग है नो डाउट, बट मेरा बड़ा फेवरेट है। दो चार लाइना जिन्हें अपना बोल पाया था, डेफिनेटली आई एम ट्राइंग। मेरा जीवन कोरा कागज कोरा ही रह गया, मेरा जीवन कोरा कागज कोरा ही रह गया, ना पवन को ना चमन को इसकी है सॉरी, टूटा डाली से फूल, टूटा डाली से फूल, ना पवन की ना चमन की किसकी है ये भूल, किसकी है ये भूल।
वेरी नाइस सर। इतना कढ़ाईदा ਹੁੰਦਾ सर।
हेलो विशाल सर। विशाल सर।
हाँ जी धन्यवाद सर, बोलो
जी।
नहीं विशाल सर, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਰਸਨੈਲਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾबिक ਇਹ ਸੌਂਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ?
नहीं सूट नहीं करता, मैं कह रहा थी, मैं क्या मैंने पर ये गाना पसंद बहुत है पर मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूं।
सब तो खुश मिजाज बंदे ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਰ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ, ਹੋਰ ਗਾਣਾ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਭਾਈ।
नो डाउट आई नो, बट मैंने ये गाना ना मैं अपने जिवें हमने डॉक्टर हरजिंदर ने कहा कि अपना कोई दरसो किस्सा, तो आई लेट यू नो कि ग्रेजुएशन टाइम whenever I used to go to for examinations during my examination graduation time, so this was my routine in the morning, मतलब अपना मैं I always leave my books 1 hour before, then I used to listen to the sad songs before going to the examinations, but मेरा एक belief सीगा कि उस when I listen to those songs ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ concentration बहुत increase हो जाती थी मेरी, so काफी I used to listen, तो मैंने बड़ा अच्छा लगता ਸੀ song
ਇਹ ਸਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਟ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਡ ਸੌਂਗ ਦਾ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ। ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਈ।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਸੈਂਟੇਜ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਾਡੀ।
ਛੱਲਾ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਲਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਾਹਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੈ, ਛੱਲਾ ਸੌਂਗ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ।
ਇਹ ਚੱਠਾ ਜੀ ਸੁਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ।
ਚੱਠਾ ਸਰ ਛੱਲਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ।
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਚ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਜੀ ਬਾਅਦ। ਚੱਠਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸੁਣਾਓ, ਡਾਕਟਰ ਲਖਵੀਰ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਗੇ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਕੇ।
ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ।
ਬਰਾੜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ।
ਚੱਠਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਰ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਰ ਛੱਲਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਸਵੇਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਟਾਈਮ ਗਲਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਈ ਪਿਚ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਛੱਲਾ ਇਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੌਂਗ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਹਾਈ ਪਿਚ ਤੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜੀ, ਤੇ ਆਈ ਵਿਲ ਟਰਾਈ ਬਟ ਮਤਲਬ ਮੇ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬੈਟਰ ਨਾ ਨਿਭਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ ਨਾ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਸਰ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜੀ, ਕੋਈ ਚੱਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ।
वैसे गौरी मैम तो सुनना चाहिए था। गिटार ते नहीं आ रहा है, चलो सीधे सुना दो
बिना बिना गिटार। हाँ
हाँ। हो छल्ला बेरी ओए बूरे, ओ छल्ला बेरी ओ बूरे में वर्डिंग यार, एक सेकंड। वो छल्ला बेरी बूरे वे जाना पहले पूरे वे गल सुन छलिया कावा वे मामा ठंडिया छावा दिले हो के आउंदी है रिदम। हो छल्ला कन दियां डंडियां, छल्ला कन दियां डंडियां, छल्ला कन दियां ओ डंडियां वे सारे पिंड विच भंडियां वे गल सुन लिया, सारे पिंड विच भंडियां वे गल्ला छज पा छंडियां वे गल सुन छलिया, टोला वे कानू पाउनाई रौला। सर इन्ना की कबूल करियो क्योंकि मेरी वर्डिंग भी नहीं याद चंगी तरह। ते वैसे गौरी मैम ने उन्ना तो सुनना चाहिए मिलना का गाना अपने।
हाँ जी मैम, हाँ जी गौरी मैम।
हेलो।
हाँ जी मैम, तुसी प्रेजेंट करोगे यही सेम?
नहीं, सर ने बहुत बढ़िया गाया और सर वर्डिंग याद करके फिर से गाएंगे।
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है,
फिर से कर गाएं।
ठीक है ठीक है। आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से
श्योर जो मेरी टर्न हुई ना उस दिन मैं दोबारा रिपीट करूंगा याद करके।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है।
हेलो हेलो।
हाँ जी विशाल सर। हाँ जी सर।
हेलो हेलो।
हाँ जी विशाल सर। हाँ जी
सर, मैं राजकुमार बात कर रहा हूँ सर, बीदर से, कर्नाटक से।
हाँ जी सर, बोलिए
सर। मैं कुछ मेरा एक्सपीरियंस बात बोल सकता हूँ सर 2 मिनट में?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल श्योर।
सर मैं कर्नाटक से डॉक्टर राजकुमार बात कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ जी
सर, मैं 1999 में उस्मान यूनिवर्सिटी हैदराबाद गया था सर, मैं पढ़ने के लिए सीधे। तब मेरा लैंग्वेज बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो गया सर, तब मेरा कन्नड़ा छोड़ के दूसरा लैंग्वेज नहीं आता था मेरे को। उस टाइम पे उधर जाने के बाद मेरा 2-3 महीने में मैं अकेला हो गया, मेरे साथ कोई बात नहीं कर रहे थे। और वही कैंपस में जो खेड़े गाँव से आए थे उन्हें तेलुगु भाषा के अलावा कोई भाषा नहीं जान नहीं सकते थे। मैं कन्नड़ा छोड़ के दूसरा भाषा मुझे नहीं आता था। उस दिन 2-3 महीना इतना अकेले में बैठा, मेरे साथ कोई बात नहीं कर सकते थे। मेस में गए तो जो मेस में खाने का आइटम भी मुझे तेलुगु में क्या बोलते थे मालूम नहीं थे। दूसरा के थाली देख के मैं इशारा करता था कि मेरे को वो होना ये होना, ऐसा भाषा की बहुत मुसीबत हो गए। और मैं 2-3 महीने के बाद बात करने लगा सिंगुलर या प्लूरल। उस टाइम पे मेरे सामने जो स्टूडेंट आते थे ना, मुझे देख के भाषा था उन्हें, क्योंकि मैं सिंगुलर या प्लूरल को किसको क्या कहते थे मालूम नहीं होता था। इसलिए भाषा बहुत इफेक्टिव एंड बिना भाषा कहीं जा नहीं सकते, किसी का फीलिंग समझ नहीं सकते। इतना कह के मेरा बात खत्म कर रहा हूँ। नमस्ते सर।
हेलो।
हाँ जी सर।
Jinder,
हाँ जी सर।
Professor of the day, Professor Verma has joined us.
Okay sir.
So Professor Verma, I welcome you and thank you for joining us and sparing the time.
Hello, good morning, very good morning sir.
Dr.
Hello,
Verma.
good morning everyone. Good morning everyone.
Hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Hello. Yes sir, you are audible.
Yes sir, yes sir. Thank you very much sir for
Let
joining.
me introduce.
Yeah, so now I'm
Verma
handing
sir,
over the
let
session to Dr. Harjinder for introduction and all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good morning Verma sir. Let me introduce to our participants.
Yeah, sure, please. Thank you.
So today Good morning, everyone. Today we are having Dr. A.K. Verma, Anil Kumar Verma, who is working as an assistant, who is working as professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology. Well, in brief, I will say that Dr. Verma is also a coordinator of Computer Science and Engineering at Deravasi campus of this institute. He received BS, MS and PhD degree in 1991, 2001 and 2008 respectively. His major interest, major specialization is computer science and engineering. He has worked as a lecturer at MMM Engineering College, Gorakhpur from 1991 to 1996. From 1996, he is associated with the same university. He has been a guest faculty, he has been a visiting faculty to many institutions. He has published over 150 papers in referred journals, conferences, India as well as abroad. He is member of various programs, committees for different international, national conferences and is on the review board of various journals. He has visited USA, South Korea, Japan, Ireland, Bahrain for academic purposes. His research interests includes wireless networks, routing algorithms, mobile computing, and securing ad hoc networks. He is a group lead of mobile computing and communication MC-Scare, a research group. As far as I talk about his research and publications, he has guided around 18 PhD degrees, 57 MTech degrees, and he is having 36 journals and attended 154 conferences. As far as I talk about his research projects and grants, he established the computer center he has project of that establishment of computer center in 2004 for about 16.5 lakhs, and other projects includes upgradation of computer center in 2007 of 13 lakhs, modernization of high-end computing lab in 2008 from AICT at about 8 lakhs. He's also having one patent also, which was registered in 2017, that is system and method of multimedia processing. And as some other his community services includes his member board of governors Thapar University Patiala. He is a member senate of Thapar University Patiala. He is also a member of board of studies computer science Central University Patiala Bathinda. He is also a member of Board of Studies Computer Science Maharaja Ranjit Singh Punjab Technical University Bathinda. Other positions includes in international program committees of various international and national conferences held in India as well as in abroad. He is also a reviewer for various international and national journals. He has a number of organized conferences about 1 and short-term courses about 2. He is also a guest editor for International Journal of Advanced Intelligence Paradigms and also guest editor for International Journal of Networking and Virtual Organizations, and is also a board member of NBA Accreditation of Institutions of India. And thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for us.
Thank you, Arvinder.
And I thank you. Please continue and give us your valuable talk.
Yeah, sure. So a very good morning to all of you, and today we shall be discussing about wearable computers or wearable computing. So during this very pandemic, what I would like to say is that we know that the computer is there, the laptop is there, the mobile is there, through which we can communicate sitting at home. So moving this thing forward, what would be our future, say maybe in next 5 years or 10 years, this is what we will discuss in wearable computing. So the agenda of today's presentation would be, we will discuss one simple 1 or 2 slides about wireless communication, what are the different modes of wireless communication, and then straight away we will jump onto the wearable computing, which is our main topic of discussion. So next please. So this is a very interesting figure which just gives you a simple idea about how do we have the different mobile communication standards. So I hope you all are aware about 5G, 4G, 6G generations. So basically whenever I want to communicate, so just have a look at it. On the x-axis we have a data rate. That means at what is the particular data rate, how fast can I transmit the data rate. This is the x-axis part, whereas on the y-axis I have whether those two stations which are communicating, or those two mobile nodes, or those two laptops which tend to communicate with each other, should be either stationary, or they should be at a speed of walking, or they should be at a speed of a vehicle. So basically what we can say is that if I move from different generations, from third generation to fourth generation to fifth generation, I have a more data rate. I can assess a more data rate as I can assess at a very high speed when the vehicle is moving. Just to give you a simple discussion about it, for example, we all have a Bluetooth communication which is in our mobile phones. So for Bluetooth, we also know that it has a certain range which is around 10 meters, and it can transmit the data once both the sender as well as the receiver are stationary. Whereas if I go to, or if I jump to 4G, I say that I can transmit the data at a higher speed, say around 100 Mbps, when it is, or when the sender and receiver are moving in a particular vehicle. So the G means the generations that we have these very different plans. So what I can say is that, or what we conclude from this figure is that, yes, there are certain mobile communication standards. As the standard arrives, or as the latest standard arrives, we have an ability that we have a higher access of data rate, and we can assess this data at a very high speed when both the sender as well as the receiver are moving. So this is the simple picture that gives us a relationship between the data rate as well as the mobility, because we are going to talk about wearable computing. So here we will straight away jump down to the wireless communication. So there are different standards of wireless communication also, which are outlined here at present. I will just take one or two which you can just have it out. This is Bluetooth, which we already must have used whenever we transfer some data or some audio file or some video file using this particular mode. Next, there are different multiple access data, for example CDMA, then we have TDMA, then we have FDMA, frequency division multiple access. So CDMA is something like that in which we use the code division multiple access. So to give you a simple analogy about it, let us suppose if I divide, there may be a channel, there would be different senders and there would be different kind of receivers. Now it is similar to like that I have a classroom in which there are different teachers who would be coming to take the class, and there would be different students who will be attending the class. Am I right? So in that case what we do is we prepare the timetable of the class, or you can say that we schedule the time. So this particular access method is known as time division multiple access, and if I divide this method into the different frequencies, because all of them can participate at the same time, then I call it as frequency division multiple access. The very simple example of frequency division multiple access is the FM radio. So I can tune on to different frequency. All the stations are transmitting their data, but to the particular frequency which I collaborate, I am able to hear that particular sender's message or voice in the case of radio. So CDMA is a novel technology which takes care of both the TDMA as well as the FDMA. So this is what we use it nowadays. So this is known as code division multiple access. What we do is we just code the signal and then send the signal. So this is what we have it all over here. Another particular mention that we would like to have over here is, this is another particular kind of mobile communication standard or a wireless communication standard known as iMode. Earlier, when the simple phones were there, we used to pay the rate, or we used to pay per the data rate. So the call was, the minimum unit of the call was, say, 1 minute. So if you talk for 30 seconds also, you will have to pay for 1 minute, or if you talk for 1 minute 1 second, you will have to pay for 2 minutes. So this was the concept that was being followed throughout the world. But the Japanese invented this particular communication known as iMode standard, in which we could change the minimum unit from the minute to the seconds. So the company which took this particular iMode communication in India was the Tata Docomo. I hope you must have heard that name. So they used to charge at a different unit, which was, or it was just an access to the user. So user was at the advantage, and this made it popular. So there are different communication standards that we use it out. So just the Bluetooth is the one that I have in common in every mobile phone. Then I have a TDMA, time division multiplexes, in which I divide the particular channel into the time, and then I have frequency division multiplexes, and then I have CDMA, and I will go for the iMode. Nowadays, if you go for a Reliance Jio, you must have referred, or you must have seen, there is a Volt E written on the particular signal or on the tower that we have. That is also another form of standard that is being used nowadays. So moving on to further, so that means now we have understood we need a wireless communication, or how does the wireless communication takes place. Now this wireless communication is realized by 3 different networks known as vehicular networks, known as mobile ad hoc networks, known as sensor networks, and another one which is popular nowadays is flying ad hoc networks. What we call it as the unmanned aerial vehicle networks, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, that we represent it out. So just we will take a simple example and then we will move it further. So next slide please. Yeah, thank you. So this is a VANET. VANET stands for Vehicular Ad Hoc Network. So it is a network in which the vehicles are used as nodes. अब आपका मोबाइल फोन नहीं यूज कर रहा, जो vehicle to vehicle communication है, that takes place. So this could be something like that. What happens is, for example, if you just have a look at a particular red car and a yellow car being clashed, there is an accident over here, so it will just send a signal to the car which is coming after it that there is a particular accident, so just change the lane and you can move it out. Similarly, there are various applications of this vehicular ad hoc networks. Nowadays, last slide please. Nowadays, there are certain automobiles, for example MG Hector or Venue, they are using intelligent mobile communication part. I hope you already must have read that MG Hector Internet Inside. So this is what we want to say, is that that particular car is connected to the internet. So what one simple application of that can be, if that I want to start that car, I can start that car from my mobile. I don't have to go and put the key, open the door and put the key or press the button. It can automatically do so. So this is one simple application where I am using the mobile communication for vehicles. Next slide please. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. So we have now another type of communication standards which are known as sensor networks. Sensor networks are nothing but you have a sensor and you have a device. Based upon the inputs received by the sensor, the device acts. A simple example which is used in automobile industry is something like that. Once we already know that once the rain starts pouring in, the wiper of the
सर प्लीज अपने माइक बंद कर लो बाकी
yeah. So once the rain starts pouring in, the automatic windshield or the wipers start moving. So what we have implemented over here is that we have a small sensor which senses the rain droplets and just gives a command to the motor of the wiper that they should start moving clockwise or anti-clockwise. So this is one simple example where we use it out a mobile communication standard for moving it out. And then in the end we have another kind of network known as a mobile ad hoc network. So here this is similar to like that. For example, you can have your 40 people in a room. So you want to communicate with each other. What you can do is you can use the Bluetooth technology of your mobile and communicate with each other. Is that right? Now my only question here would be that why can't I use my internet aspect, or why can't I use any other application to communicate? Now these networks are known as, next slide please, these networks are known as mobile ad hoc networks. Yeah, please press 3 times. Yeah, next. Thank you. So last slide. So this is the full form of mobile ad hoc networks. So here I am not at all using any infrastructure for communication. For example, कई बार हम लोग और we usually say that there is no tower coming, so I cannot make a call. So that tower is the infrastructure that I am using. So what we are proposing in future is that without using this tower, without using this infrastructure, how can we communicate through the machines with each other? So this is the concept of ad hoc networks. So next slide please. So this is the way that you can see on the figure which is right hand side below this PPT, that we have a different network of different devices which are communicating without any infrastructure. So this is what we have in store, or what is in the lies in the future for us. Next slide please. Yeah, so here what we have is that sometimes, for example, I say that I want to communicate from node A to node B. So at a particular time, because the nodes are moving, they are not at all tied together, or neither they are under the influence of any infrastructure. So here at this moment I can say that if I want to communicate from A to B, I have to take 2 hops, the figure on the left hand side. Whereas after some time, let us suppose, the nodes change, nodes move at a different pace, or just they have a different configuration. So here now, say after 2 minutes, I will have, if I want to communicate from A to B, instead of 2 hops, now I require 3 hops. So this is one of the challenges that we need to face whenever we are dealing with these kind of networks. So next slide please. Yeah, next. So these are some of the challenges that we have. We have already discussed this thing. The best or the biggest challenge is that there is not at all any centralized entity. So the centralized entity is something like that there is no server, there is no infrastructure that controls the entire communication part. So, next slide please. Here we see that the nodes movement are different because nodes can move anywhere. Since they are not tied to the wire, they are wireless. So these are the different, you can say, configurations, or those people who are from computer science background, they can say related to the different topologies that we have. Yeah. Next slide please. Next slide. Yeah. So this is how the different communication path is established at different times whenever we take place. Next please. Next slide. Yeah. So this can be another form of communication. And now we come on to the applications part of such kind of networks. So before moving further, what we have discussed is that yes, we have a wireless communication. There are certain laid down standards, and there are three different categories that we look about it: VANET, SANET and MANETs. That we just to give you a simple example of over here is that I can use this mobile ad hoc network as a simple personal area network. There could be my wristwatch. I hope nowadays there is a trend of using a Fitbit. So that Fitbit takes the communication or takes the vital parameters of your body and it stores it on your mobile, and later on you can check it out how you performed or what was the response of your body for a particular event. And then it could be any particular thing. For example, let us suppose it could be used in a sports stadium. So how can we use this simple way? There could be a simple logical configuration that can be floated to me on which particular seat I have to go and sit, and which would be the door through which I should enter, so that I have to traverse a minimum path. So that could also be one of the game. So another application could be a taxi network or a taxi cab network. This used to happen, or the cab network in New York. What they used to do it out, every taxi used to have its own taxi network. Let us suppose I want to go from my house to the bus stand, so I will just make a call, and the taxi which is very nearby my house will receive a message, or all the taxis will receive a message. Any driver who is very near to my home can just lock that call, so that means he will be picking me up, and in that case my time and my money will be saved. So these are the some of the applications that we have. So can I have the next slide please? One more click please. Next. Yeah. So these are the future networks that we would be considering, or that we would be hearing in the time to come. We have a simple LAN, or the local area network, through which we establish our labs, and we have a PAN, private area network. The example just taken was a Fitbit being communicating with your mobile phone. So there could be another form of networks which could be CAN. CAN is campus area networks. HAN is home area networks, and then BAN is body area networks. So these are the future of networks. So let us take a simple example of home area network. Now in the case of home area network, back slide. In the case of home area network, what I can say is that all my devices can be connected to the particular server. So from server I can give a command, and that particular device can be controlled. For example, if I am sitting in my drawing room at present and I want to switch off the light in my bedroom, that can be done, because through my mobile I can just talk with the particular light, using the mobile communication standard, and then we can just have the communication done. So that means this is how we are just trying to evolve using the mobile communication standards. I will give you another example of a home area network. That could be something like that. Let us suppose you are working somewhere and you are coming back to your home, and now you want to know that what vegetable is present in your fridge so that you can come and cook. And let us suppose if you can communicate with the fridge and it says that okay, the particular item, there were 2 items and both have got rotten. So in that case, while coming back to the from office, you will purchase those items so that once you come home, you can cook and eat that. So this is the concept that instead of mobile to mobile communication, now we are trying to communicate with other devices. For example, from my mobile, I can communicate with the fan which is in this room. I can communicate with the light. I can communicate with the AC. I can communicate with my fridge. So this is how the communication takes place. So without moving into other things, we will move on to the next slide and we will discuss our discussion on wearable computers. So kindly help me out with the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, so here what we say is that now we have understood that I can communicate once the people are in moving and as well as the devices are also moving. So next slide, please. So I can have a next slide also. So at present we are not wired and we are mobile. So now these are the certain gadgets which you would have seen and through which we communicate using mobile communication standards. Next slide, please. Another different form of standards. It could be a watch, it could be a laptop, it could be a mobile, it could even be your camera. So next, please. Next slide, please. So this is a dream product of Apple. What they want to say is that if you just have a look at it, its width is that of a CD-ROM device. So you can use that particular device, put it in your pocket, and that could easily replace with your laptop, or it can perform all the functions that a particular laptop performs. So next slide, please. We can skip this. Next slide. And next slide. I'm not going into technical jargon because I want to keep it as general as possible. Next slide. So now we come on to our main discussion, what is wearable computer. So before starting, let us see what we have learned and what we have discussed. Yes, we need wireless communication because we are mobile, and we need different mobile communication standards, and then I can communicate with any other device using any mobile communication standard. So this is what is possible. So next slide, please. Yeah, what is a wearable computer now? To just give you a simple definition, we will not go into the technical jargon of this. Just to give you a simple definition about it is that I wear my clothes, I wear my watch, I wear my shoes. Am I sitting on a particular table? No. I am still walking, I am doing my other course, but I am wearing my clothes. So for example, at present, Now what you would be doing is you would be listening to this particular lecture while sitting in the front of a device or in a particular way. You are stationary. You are not driving a car or you are not riding a bicycle once you are involved in this lecture. So our future is something like that. Can it be something like that? I am driving a car and I am checking my email at present during driving my car. So this is what we have in future for us. Is it right? So this is the concept that is coming within years to come, and it has evolved in USA also. So let us start with the simple thing over here. This figure just gives a glimpse of how wearable computing can be done. So we already know that any computing device have three different basic units. One is input, another one is output, and the third one is the central processing unit. So on this figure on the right, what I have is I am just showing you the CPU which is on the back of the person. There is an output device or input device. There is a camera which scans that, and there could be certain output which may give some instruction which would be in the form of audio or something else, or some signal which tells the user what to be done. So next slide please. So this is you can say introduction of wireless wearable computing to you. So this wearable computing concept started in 1998. You can see the second paragraph. So we are all familiar with the name Seiko, which designs watches, and mostly you must have seen it as an official timekeeper of Olympics. So this person who is standing in the side of the road just had a simple watch, and he just kept on standing over there, and through this watch we were able to sense how many cars passed on that particular road. So this was the first instance where we used wearable computing. So it has been around 22 years since that thing happened. So yes, we are slowly evolving it. Next slide please. So you must have seen various Dick Tracy movies, various James Bond movies. Now you can relate it to it. What could be a wearable computing could be? It could be a simple ball pen which you put it in your pocket and which can communicate, or it could be a simple watch which you can communicate. Now the only concept of the wearable computing is that it does not hinder with your other activities which you perform during the day. You can walk, you can talk, and also access to the particular cyberspace if you want. So next slide please. This we can skip. Next slide. So this is what the integrated circuits or the electronic people gave us. What they did was they tried to miniaturize a particular chip or the motherboard. So the motherboard, which was around 48 square inches, has been reduced to 12 square inches. So that means now we have 1/4 the size of the CPU part. So next slide please. This is one of the gadget that I use it for wearable. So now you can easily see that while driving or while talking to you, my hands are free, I can see here and there, my ears are open, as well as I can communicate using this particular bracelet. So this is a digital form of communication through which I am doing it out. Next slide please. So this is another device. This could also be worn on as a bracelet. Next slide please. So this is another particular form in which the person speaks through the mic, and on the right eye of the user, if you see, there is a screen. That is a screen on which, or you can say that is the computer terminal on which he can read or he can assess what the response is. So that means now he can move and he can also check his emails. Yeah, please, next slide please. Next slide please, because we can skip this. So now this is how the modern day wearable computing will look like, or wearable computer will look like. So you will have the CPU, you will have an input device, you will have an output device. I hope you all must have been familiar with the Google glasses or the Apple glasses, which are going to be coming in the market, so through which you can just communicate with the cyberspace using these many spaces. So next slide please. Next slide. So these are the different attributes of wearable computing. Just what we want to say is that it should be unmonopolizing of users' attention. It should not monopolize the user attention, because if I am delivering a lecture right now, I am just concentrating on this particular aspect. It should be unrestrictive, it should be observable, controllable, attentive and communicative to others. I should be able to communicate with others. Next slide please. Yeah, so we can skip this and we move on to what we have in store for us. So sabse pehle, if you can have a look at it, when we started its research in wearable computing, we had the two antennas just like a horn on an animal. We made the people like that because we wanted to use the mobile communication standard. Then slowly and slowly you can say that on the right you have a person who is using a wearable computing. Maybe his computer might be on his right pant pocket, and on the left side he has a keyboard, whereas the glasses he is wearing acts as a projector on which he can read, he can write, or he can just watch a movie. So next slide please. We can skip this. This is another application. Yeah. So this is another particular wearable computing that we have. So here I say that I am just able to control the health monitoring of any particular soldier. So let us suppose you have a soldier who is in Siachen working somewhere or has gone on a particular sortie, and there is an avalanche. His body is under the snow. So how to find that? If he has something wearable computing, some signal can be transmitted. Yes, I say that I can communicate with it. So precious human lives can be saved. So this is another, yeah, next slide please. Yes. Yeah. This is another example. For example, here the person, one click more please. Here the person makes certain hand gestures. So for example, any person who is deaf and dumb, he can communicate with that, because using these gestures there would be a particular sensor who would be reading these gestures and then converting it into an English language so that you can read and understand, and once you speak or once you give a response to what he has asked for, that will also be converted into his sign language and you can use it out. So next slide please. So there are different people, or there are different labs in the world. MIT Media Lab, which is a pioneer in doing research in this wearable computing. Next slide please. So next slide. So it has many number of applications, wearable computing, that we can think of it. And yeah, please, next slide. So before moving further, I would just like to share some of the gadgets that we use it out in this case of wearable computing. So there is the jacket which can be worn and you can communicate with it. Now on the second figure that we have is, you make a certain gesture of your hand, the entire mobile phone keypad is displayed on your hand and you can communicate with that. So next slide please. So here there are different robots, and if you see the second figure below, you see that that girl is using a wearable computing. So she has the CPU in her pocket, and on her forehead she has the input as well as the output devices which are communicating with her. So this is the bracelet that we have seen. Next slide please. So these are other gadgets that people use it out in the case of, for example, here in this figure on the right hand side below, the lady uses a hairpin which has a communication media and it communicates with the user. And whereas in the middle figure above that, yeah, the lady uses different hand pressures, different pressures of fingers to communicate with it. So there is no keyboard, nothing else. She just uses the particular pressure of her fingers to communicate with it, and on her forehead is the input output device that is being used. So next slide please. So this is the person Steve Mann, who is pioneering his research in the wireless wearable computers. So we can move further please. My only main aim is to just to help you about the different devices which help us in doing it out. So this is a wearable clamp that we use for typing. Next, this is a typewriter which is a keyboard which is used out by the user. Now here you must have seen different videos on YouTube. There is a particular projector, and what you do is, all that keyboard is printed on the surface and you type it on the surface, and that gets keyed in. Next slide please. That gets keyed into this particular mobile. So for example, आज से 5-7 साल पहले, 5 to 7 years before, we used to, if we wanted to type 3 or we want to type C, we would have pressed A, B and then C would come in old Nokia phones. Whereas now the keyboard is changed. Now what we are doing it out, we are representing the keyboard on the surface and then we can communicate. So next slide please. Yeah, this is micro optical. So what it has is, this is a simple glass that you are wearing it out. So on the left hand side there is a projector which gives you a projection of the screen on your glass. So that means now you can work, you can walk, you can enjoy the real world, you can enjoy a party as well as be connected with the particle thing. So this is another particular example of using a wearable device. Next please. This we are already familiar with whenever any particular Air Force or any airborne people use it out. So next slide please. So these are the different gadgets that we use it out for wearable computing. So next slide. So now here the lady is wearing certain kind of rings. So what she does is, she uses the stress strain curve Young's modulus in order to just have an input what she wants to type. So there is no keyboard, it is just the combination of these 4 fingers that she communicates with the computer. So next. Now this is the slide which I want to show you that how wearable computer nowadays looks like it. So these are the Georgia Tech or MIT students or researchers who have been using this particular wearable computing devices, and such people who are always connected with their device are known as cyborgs. Now cyborgs is a simple acronym which is known as organisms which are in cyberspace. Cyberspace is internet. So basically they are always online 24 hours. So they are attending a party also, and they are also accessing their emails, or maybe involved in chatting with some other person. So what I could say is that there is a hard time for we teachers how to make the student attentive in the class, and yes, there is more workload coming. So the applications are immense which are listed. You can think of any particular application which you can use. And next slide please. Next slide. So this is what I was talking about. Now this person is using that particular wearable computing. On his left eye you can see that there is a small square. So that is the representation of the screen of the computer to which he is connected, as well as he is talking with you, he is enjoying his food in a restaurant, as well as like this. So next slide please. Now what I wanted to share with this figure is that what we have talking is not in the air, the things are happening. So if you just have a look at it, this is the view of it from a driver's car. So the screen, I hope you can easily recognize, there is a computer screen which is in the middle, and you can also see the other real world pictures which are there. So this is what is happening, or this is what, at what location, at what place we are in the research at this particular time. So that means if I am driving a car, I can also view my particular things. Now we also know that there have been certain computers which are voice controlled. So if you say that, okay, type ls-l for the directory listing, so just done, you can have the list of the directory, whereas you are driving it out. Yes, I do agree with you that you can drive a car, you can drive a bicycle, you can drive, but yes, you cannot drive a Ferrari using these wearable devices. But let us hope that there is more to come in future. So next slide please. Yeah, this is a simple keyboard which uses different combinations so that your other hand is free. So next slide please. So this is the person who started this project of wearable computing, Steve Mann. You can refer it out on the Google. So with this, I would just like to share that in the time to come, wearable computing is there. As I wear my clothes, as I wear my slippers, I will be wearing my computers. So next slide please. Yeah, next slide. One simple application here that I have is that we call it as Voclect. These are available. For example, he is an inventory person. He just puts the inventory in the store. So he puts the entry in the store, automatically the device which he is wearing on his arm sends a message to the server or to the inventory file, which automatically updates that at present in the store, if there were 10 items before, now 10 more items have been added, so we have 20 items in store. So I hope this is, next slide please. This is another example how the people are managing in the store. So after what the concept is that it is a live interaction between the inventory store and the server. So you get those things updated. You do not have to key in, you do not have to punch in the values so that it gets updated. Next slide please. We are already aware about the Fitbits. These are the other some applications where I can use the wearable computing. So next slide please. So there could be certain applications where these wearable computing can be used. For just, let us suppose I want my blood glucose level to be monitored, that can also be done. Next slide. So we talked about something about home computing. So Intel is now working on a particular processor which you can install in your home, and you can connect all the devices with it. What does that mean is that sitting in my drawing room, I can open my gate. So there is a simple networking concept. The address of that particular node will be assessed and will be asked to do the function what I wanted to do it out about. So this is how the things are going to come in future. Next slide, please. Next slide. So these are some gadgets. Yeah, next slide. This is a simple shoe. Yeah, next slide, please. So what we are eyeing, last slide. Last slide. So what we are eyeing on is something like that is, I have a computer as a receptionist. Now it just takes care of my senses, or using machine intelligence, it can say that whether I dislike a person or or what should I say. It can just say that yes, the doctor is not in, whereas you can see that the doctor is sitting inside his office. So next please. These are some of the other gadgets. So there is a hand gesture. The cap the person is wearing has a certain sensor which can sense the whatsoever gesture you make. Here on the right top we have a lady wearing an earring which acts as a simple sensor to what you are trying to communicate with it. And in the middle we have a simple badge. You can see the badge on the jacket. So that is a gadget through which the particular person is computing. So what I want to say is that we are wearing the computer, but now we are wearing in a fashionable way. Yeah, please, next slide please. So this is a simple gesture recognition example that we have discussed. Yeah, next slide please. So this is how the pendant or the example will take place. A simple communication part, how we can use it out. So next slide please. Next slide. Yeah, we can have it out for the face recognition. Yeah, next. So these are just the trade-offs, or this is what we have to take care of. Yes, there would be power and heat generated. Yeah, on and off body networking, what we do it out. There would be certain inhibition to our privacy also, and what would be the capability and load, because we want it to be as light as possible. It should be ergonomically acceptable to the human being. So next slide please. So these are the, next slide. Yeah, these are the advantages which you can think of it once you wear your computer. So you are always connected, and then there are certain disadvantages as usual with every particular aspect of science. And in the end I am sharing with some of the resources. Next slide please. From which I have taken it out. So Georgia Tech is the one, and Bradley Rhodes, he has his own website which used the particular pendant experiment. So next slide please. Next slide. Here, please stop here for the future. Yeah. So this is a live instance of how the future will be there in the place. So I would just request the organizers to play a video which will help you to know what would be our future once we have that particular thing in place. So now you just have a look. All the items in your home are connected. You are also connected with it, and the video is self-explanatory, and you can just foresee what the future holds for you. With this, I thank the organizers, and I request them to play the video for you.
Just Just wait, sir. I'm doing.
हाँ जी. I think it's not audible. Just have a look. Yeah. Punjabi University for giving me this opportunity to share my research area, and I hope you also enjoyed discussing the particular novel concept on wearable computers. So thank you all, and special thanks to Dr. Vishal, who just convinced me for this particular talk. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Thank you. It was really informative.
Thank you, sir. So, any participants, if any part to ask any questions,
Yes, sir. Question answer session, please.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
Anji, is there anyone? Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
हाँ जी.
This is Moj from Whitecoat, London.
हाँ जी.
So my question is, what is the future of ad hoc network? And
What is the future of
ad hoc network?
Ad hoc network? See.
Yes.
Yeah. Ad hoc networks means you are trying to make a network on the fly. So the simple example that I can give you, let us suppose now there are rains in the Mumbai region, right? In Indian aspect, if you are asking about how. So the network infrastructure or the antennas that we have or the very big towers for communication that we have gets damaged. So I cannot communicate with anybody. My communication link is lost. So in the case of ad hoc networks, I use a simple communication link on the go and communicate with others. So therefore, I can say that my communication will never be lost with anyone. This is one simple example. You can think of any other example. There is a person or there is an aircraft that is flying and it gets crashed. So now you want to communicate with that because now there is no communication media available. You can set up an ad hoc network over there and communicate with it. I hope you got the point, Manoj.
Sir, but in reality, the people are not shifting toward this. Everyone believes in the infrastructure-based network. My question
Agreed.
why people are not? Yes.
See, we Indians are limited on resources. Is it right? अगर मैं आपको कोई चीज बोलूं, this is a simple touch screen monitor and it is say 20,000 costlier than the simple monitor. You will say that no, I will take the simple one because we have our own limitations. Yes, it is there. It will come in future. We have to wait for it.
Means you can say कि in coming future it will be useful for all of us.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
हाँ जी.
Sir, there is any side effects on the human body after reading this computer device?
Sir, the companies which manufacture these devices say there are no effects, but there is a certain group of people who have studied out that they say that yes, they have their harmful effects. In fact, the COVID pandemic is some way linked with the 5G also. Some of the groups think that once we have used the 5G, the COVID pandemic happened. So, but for human brain, these signals, yes, they do affect us.
Okay.
Hello, sir. One more question is there.
Ji.
Sir, wearable computer can affect the organs of body while we are using.
Yes, it can affect your kidney, it can affect your heart. Yes.
So whether we have to go for it?
It's your choice. See,
Okay,
every device will have its own radiation levels, right? So once it is within the permissible radiation levels, yes, we can use it out. हम लोग भी तो बच्चे को बोलते हैं बेटा ज़्यादा मोबाइल मत देखो, है ना? Yes, it would be there. Maybe if I'm going out for 1 hour, I can use my wearable computing device. But if I come back and if I have my other resources, I should prefer that.
Right.
Sir, which radiations are used in this computing devices?
Sir, which radiations means these are magnetic radiations, electromagnetic radiations. They emit because they have to communicate with using the antenna part for the signal, the electromagnetic signal through which they communicate. So sometimes you must have read in different literatures also, or usually somewhere in the newspapers also, that you should not keep your mobile phone near your head while sleeping or near your heart while sleeping, है ना? So yes, they are there.
Okay.
Is there anyone else?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, my question is that is there any quality or standards for these devices available? Like we say ISI standards or something else that may not affect the health as much.
If you would have seen certain electronic devices, there is a particular emblem CE written on it. Have you noticed it out?
No,
CE लिखा रहता है, हाँ, उसके ऊपर CE लिखा रहता है, with which you can communicate and you can say that it is usable for the human being or not. The radiation. There are certain apps also which you can download and check the radiation level of your own mobile, whether it is within the limit or not.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Harjinder, please conclude. I think it is enough. We have taken enough questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Verma. It was really nice talk, and thank you for sharing the time.
Thank you, Dr. Verma. On the behalf of HRDC Punjab University and all the participants, you just gave your valuable time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Again for the next session at 11:55. Thank you very much.